Good morning out there. Let's check and make sure we're going fine. My channel. We're good. Let me see something here. Just checking views. Yeah, still swinging between like 30 and 40 views most of my stuff. So anyway, thanks for all of you out there. The 30 to 40 of you out there who tune in often and watch my stuff. Unless I'm talking about Hot Wheels, and then for some reason it goes up to like 100. I don't have any Hot Wheels today. Yeah, well, I really have like books and like old toys and stuff. It tends to run up. But anyway, that's what it is. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, thrift stores, garage sales, backyards, front yards, side yards, and various other places. Estate sales. And try to make a few extra bucks online. Today, not a lot of finds from this past weekend. I didn't hit. Goodwill was a strikeout, and I hit a yard sale and an estate sale and got one thing. And I had stuff to do around the house, so I didn't have the time to go out and get and do thrifting. Sometimes I'll grab a kid or two, and we'll do a thrift store circuit. I wasn't able to do that. But I think no, not this weekend. So I'm actually going to be out of town this weekend. Yeah, I need to send a private message to somebody, and I want to see if they're going to be close. Anything way. Okay. Up. Let's see. Sales. Decent. Not many, but good ones. But I've been real happy with. I have two more of those expensive baseball gloves, but they haven't sold yet. But they're getting a ton of hits, and I suspect within the next few weeks they will move. But that being said, I've had a couple hangers on lately that have sold, and a few things that sold quick. And so we're gonna actually two mess sales and three good sales. Two mess sales, one fine sale, and two like good sales, and we're gonna jump into that because the small stuff is great, as the tag says. So, starting off, Tarnsman and Gore by John Norman. John Norman books sell. Don't read them, or adults only. Yeah. Anyway, this was $11. Is this the first edition? No, but it's an earlier edition. The earlier his stuff, you find the stuff, the better it sells. But anyway, $11 for John Norman book. They lot up okay sometimes, but I've also had about 10 to 15 a book on some of his Gore novels, but not all of them. But if you find some, I would say if you get them for $1 or less, grab them and flip them. Because minimum you can lot them up for $3 to $5 a piece, but you can find some worth between 10 and 20. Anyway, so that's that. Next up, I think sold comps on this. This one for $18. Okay, so this was fine, and this is a kind of a vintage, neat old Thermos Bottle King Sealy Red plaid 10-inch. Also used tartan in it from 1973. And I think I picked this up for like $3 at Goodwill, and it sold for $17, $18. But it took a few months to sell. I think I had to just wind up waiting until it was like the cheapest on eBay. I don't know. This thing's in really good shape. What you want to look for on these is to make sure that the cup and the top is in good condition, and that it's clean. This thing's clean. It actually didn't look like it was used the whole time. So, there you go. So a vintage thermos. I'm probably not going to pick a lot of these up again. Or I say that. Don't spend a lot of money on stuff like this, unless you trip over like some weird, like super rare one, and then in that case, you got to like really confirm you make sure you got what you think you got. Uh, but other than that, I wouldn't. I don't know. I would get this again unless it was under $2. I think it sits a while, and I think there's a real similar one that I think this is like the slightly rarer version, because I think that this shape of cup, I think like the ones there's a more less like a square cup or whatever. Um, that's a little more common, and that the price goes down this. But this type of thing, when this sells for $18, that means unless you got something in perfect condition with all the parts and in really good shape, pass on, because it's not going to sell. You need something that's in really, really good condition for that to move and for you to make money on that. Okay, on to the one more aggravating thing. Jeans are like I have like a love hate relationship with jeans because I don't know them real well. I can't seem to find good ones where I live, and they weigh more than you want them to. This is a pair of Levi's 550 men's jeans, 44 by 29, and these only went for $15. Got them at like $1 at a yard sale. That's about my limit on jeans. Maybe if I tripped over some 501s, or one of the really high end brands, I'll splurge on them. But it's hard to pat. I will say grab a pair of Levi's if they're in decent condition for $1, because you're probably going to make money. But I don't know jeans well enough to give anything further than that advice. But there's guys out there who really know jeans, like Shane over at Soda City, who knows a whole lot more about jeans than I do, but he also got a bunch for like stupid cheap. Anyway, so $15 for a pair of jeans. These are in good condition. There's nothing wrong with these. And these are men's jeans, and so they'll go out the door. So anyway, like I said, love hate relationship with jeans. I've tried them in the past, and I'll keep poking at them in the future, but I don't like them. They weigh a little bit. Thankfully, Ground Advantage has helped a lot because you couldn't ship a pair of jeans, excuse me, anything but priority mail in the past because of the weight. Because every pair of jeans it weighs more than a pound. Ground Advantage has really taken some of the heat off, and reduced the cost it does to ship jeans. And so that has helped. And that's why you can spend $1, like 15. It used to be selling a pair of jeans for $15 that were like that. You almost couldn't make profit on eBay. Now, because that'll ship between $7 and $8 probably, you're probably good. But before it was pointless to do jeans unless you could sell them for more than about $20. All right. Next up, at least in my experience, yours may vary, is my two good sales. One is this is Pokemon Black and White Collector's Edition Official Strategy Guide. This thing's beat up. This went for $30. If this thing was in like mint condition in really good shape, this would be like a $50 item. But Pokemon strategy guides for the video games are good sellers. And this isn't the first one I've ever sold. I think I've sold several. I may have sold this book before, but I have sold several in the past, and they're $20 to $50. Easy, fast sales. I listed this last week, and so this is going to go pretty quick, even in this condition. So those go pretty quick. Okay, finally, for all the good stuff that the good thing that you've been waiting for is this bad boy right here. It's a Royal Crown Cola bottle opener. There's a company made in USA. There's a company name on here. Star. These things range from basically like 25 to $50. This went for 33. Because I had to get, I advertised, I cleaned it up. I took a wire wheel off of a gentle wire wheel off of a Dremel tool and cleaned up a bunch of stuff, a bunch of paint and stuff off of it. And it came out pretty good. These are pewter, which you got to be real careful when you're cleaning. But this was a real neat find. I think I pulled it out of a yard sale like quarter bin. Uh, Bottle openers resell, particularly vintage ones. I've got another one that doesn't have a royal crown on it. I got it laying around here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but I need to find it and get it listed because it's still like a $15 to $20 item without the royal crown stuff. But when you have like Coca-Cola, Royal RSC, or something else on it like that, that raises the value on these things. And so, and it's functional. I mean, you break a bottle opener, it means you used it at a time. So, but these things are real neat. This sold probably, I think it took a couple months for this to sell. But small stuff, I think like the title says, love. There's always a satisfaction in taking something like this and selling it for a bunch of money, from a dollar bin and getting a bunch for it because it's easy to pack, easy to ship. This will get boxed. I'm not shipping this just in a padded mailer. I may put it in a padded mailer and put it in the box, depending on what I got laying around for wrapping. But this is going to go in a box and go out today, and hopefully I'll have a happy customer on that. So, um, finds wise, I got this. This was like $1.50 at a yard sale, and this is the only thing I got. This is a big old early 19. What is this? Congressional Record, Volume 48, Part 4, 1912. Congressional Record. A little beat up. I didn't even look it up because at minimum, I think I'd get like $5 for it at the flea market, but we'll see what it brings. People like old books, and this is going to look neat on a shelf. Wish it was in a little bit better shape. But the binding's still good, and there's not a lot of writing in it. So, and it went with my rule that anything pre-World War II that I can get for $1, I'm going to grab because usually you can resell it. So there's that. So not much else there to talk about. Thanks for jumping on. Didn't have a whole lot on the live part of the live stream, but like, comment, subscribe anyway. And if you've got something small that you've sold for a bunch that you tripped over, if you had a $1 to $20 item about this size, let us know what it was. So we all know. Now we can all do it. Have a good one. Bye.